Turf is such a small percentage of our bond package, and yet, as it is in most districts around the state, it's often the most controversial topic. Yet, as we've seen over the last decade, schools are installing turf fields on an exponential rate across our state. Right now, in the fall season, we really can't use that facility outside of JV and varsity football games, and marching band can get down there on Friday nights. Moving forward, the whole idea behind turf is more efficient use of that facility. Expanding how often and how much use we actually can get out of that. We already have the bleachers and the lights, concessions, restrooms, parking lot. We don't have to add or redo much that's at the stadium. It's really just the field. And so it's about efficient use of that facility to allow more bang for the buck, to be able to host more. I mentioned this at one of our community forums, but I used to work for a school that tore up its field during the playoff run a handful of years back, to the point where they scraped the entire facility, reinstalled sod, reseeded, etc., worked on some drainage, and within 5 years they did the entire facility again and installed field turf. The amount of use that you want out of a facility like that is just growing and growing. In short, I'm just about smart, efficient use of taxpayer dollars. If we're already tearing the field up to work on drainage issues, why not go the extra mile and just do the job right? Efficiency, part of the triple E for the AAA.
What most people don't know is that Pewamo Westphalia Community Schools, to maintain the football field properly, the school district spends tens of thousands of dollars a year. On the football field itself, there are 2 drainage culverts that run the length of the football field on each side that collect the drainage runoff. Unfortunately, there's no way that surface water is getting down to them to drain properly. This means that most of the time the football field is wet, no matter what the weather condition is.
Junior football currently plays their games on Saturday mornings. However, there's been a shift for junior high games in most leagues to move to Wednesday nights. This is a problem for us because our old field does not have lights. In order to find games in the future, we may need a facility that has lights. We would need to be able to play on the main football field.
During the spring, when the baseball field is wet, we practice here inside of the gym. It's a shared space, and it's not the best for ground balls or hitting practice, so sometimes we'll jump out to the parking lot. But that damages the equipment, and it's not the safest for our players.
Okay, there's 2 issues I can see with our current football field setup at the marching band. First, we can't really get out there during game weeks. It's fine practicing in the parking lot, but before games, we'd like to be able to go to the game field, and with just having to paint it and wear and tear, we can't usually do that. And then for actual halftime performances, it just gets super slippery out there sometimes.
Right now, when I take my classes out to the practice field, I have to worry about the weather, worry about the grass being wet, people falling, slipping, getting in mud. And it's kind of hard when 2 PE classes are out there because we're all trying to use the same field and it doesn't give us a whole lot of room to move.
So the practice football field, one of the concerns is that I see that it being overused by the time we get to it. What I mean by that is that every other sport, it seems like, especially football, has been on that field and there's a lot of people on there. So by the time we get to it in school, I have a lot of safety concerns at that point because my kids aren't wearing the spikes or the proper shoes when they go out there, even though it's should be a nice grass field.
Thank you for voting on May 2nd.